should flip it, but this is what we got. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay right here because I'm at home, not at the gym. So
Yeah, so you're not doing your side pressure stuff.
I am though. It's right there. It's right there.
Ah, okay.
I brought it to the living room, so we're on it.
So I gotta say, I did throw Sergey a link as well. So he may appear at some point. He may pop on here.
Great. He's doing an outstanding job, Sergey. I appreciate the Instagram, the fact that you know how to do all that stuff. I wish I could participate more, but I will be getting a crash course when I get to Istanbul this week on how to go live all the time. And before you know it, I'm going to be able to make memes and all kinds of shit. So eventually I'm going to be powerful when it comes to this promoting game.
Oh yeah. Guys, if anyone hasn't subbed to Travis yet, just go on over because it's gonna get crazy. So Travis, what are your plans, buddy? What is it, just gonna be world domination, or what's the deal?
Well, it's just I'm going to first try to prove to myself that I do have the guts to put it out there on that main stage, because I think that that's probably the first hurdle for someone who supposedly has done stuff in the past and now they're coming back. Well, I'm on that East versus West stage, and I'm telling you, dude, it's heated up there. Like, you can feel what an arena it is, how the intensity and just how crazy it was. And then the last time I was there, I had been training a little bit, just a little bit, and we did the live show early, and I believe it was my best one, because people don't know the whole being a commentator that is being with the camera right in your face is not the guy that I've always been. I'm the guy that's doing the live show for the person at the event, and there's mistakes that can be made. It's hours of it. It's not 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm finding myself, learning from Neil, watching, see how comfortable he is. Well, the last time I was there, I felt way more comfortable on the stage. And I know it had to do with the fact that I didn't, whenever I think men, I don't even want to say arm wrestlers, I'm going to say men, as soon as they're around other men, initially that thought pops in your brain like, am I going to have to fight this fucking guy at any point in my life? And what would be the exit strategy for me? Well, I felt like I needed a lot of exit strategies the first couple times I was over there. I was like, man, everybody's, and it still may be that way, but at least now I feel a little more comfortable. And then I'm really glad we did the thing in Orlando, because it brought back every feeling that athletics and competition do. I mean, I think I went to the bathroom 113 times before I arm wrestled Derek. Just like I used to when I had to arm wrestle Earl Wilson at the Mike Gould Classic, and I knew it was coming. And Earl kept staring at me weird, and I'm like, dude, it's fucking going to happen. And Derek is such a funny dude because he is so fucking impressive. And you know that there is a place where you wish you had some of Derek's attributes. At least a guy like me does. That dude's got supreme height, and he's pretty proportional, right? He's got the whole thing. So I'm also thinking, man, did I really fuck up from a leverage standpoint? And he's gonna be 2 floors above me in the connection, like when I was young with Eric Rafael. It's like Eric's like a couch. It's not heavy, but you can't carry the fucking thing by yourself. There's no place to get a hold of it. So I kind of thought about that, which made me nervous as shit. But on the flip side, I almost forgot how much of the room and how much of the oxygen that I can suck out of this place, and the energy that I can take from everybody that's there. And they threw a loop in there. When we got there, I had no idea. I don't know if you did either, but commentating to the screen, to the pay-per-view, with the live crowd here to listen is another total beast situation that not every human being is prepared for. And in my opinion, that took some of Derek's confidence away. And I know this is crazy, but I'm working him there with him. And when he realized, I realized it about an hour before he did because I was there earlier. And I started thinking about, oh shit, are you telling me that I'm going to be looking at the screen? And that's not the same rhythm. It's not the same that you would do for the live, right? But you got to mix these things together. And I could tell Derek was a little twisted by it, which also gave me confidence because I was going to overcome this little mental thing that I had to deal with about commentating. So um, I think, from a confidence standpoint, it was good. And I am hoping that I have to be just talented enough to put on the show. So that means that you can't be 0 for 6, 0 for 3, being dominated early. Now, listen, it's may not be bad TV once in a while for me to go up 2-3-0 and end up losing the super match. That I could see could be good TV as well and could keep me on my trajectory. What I know is my act doesn't go well when I'm being dominated. And so that's what I want to hopefully overcome. And hopefully Sergey will leave the door open enough where at the very least he's got to push me down with a broke arm push at some point. Because I think I can get away with that. So hopefully at least I'm there. A part of me also, once a day, I am on this machine behind me and I have worked myself up to where I am. Because listen, I don't know if you're aware of this, but machines can be manipulated.
Yeah.
If you turn your body a certain way and push, and all of a sudden, it's like, listen, even though Camille, what he's doing with these machines is absolutely ridiculous. The truth is that you're hoping that in a live sparring match, I can manipulate that leverage, that situation, that positioning to not make it so perfect. So when I'm on this machine here, I also understand that there's the place where I can push the very most weight and it not be 100% realistic, but good for my brain. And then there's the one that is legit. And I am really squared. This handle is away from my body, and I have the ability in this 20-minute time frame to be impressive to myself. So if I can translate that, I may run this guy right over. I may run him over, right? Because I'm going to force the referee. I think the referees, as much as people think that strict arm wrestling is a problem for me, it's not a problem for me.
Do you think you're seeing strict arm wrestling at East versus West?
I think that that's the illusion. I think the illusion is that they are 100% trying to be as legit as you possibly can under the circumstances that, it's a super match format and it's a promotion, right? And they are trying. It could be a lot more Wild West. And I also believe when I show up, that perception that they need to be a little more together will creep in their brain. And I just hope that they know that that's a part of my plan as well. Like, I want you to be super strict on Sergey. I do not want him to get a very good grip.
Step 1. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3.
Exactly. And confidently within knowing that there's an hourglass of my hand and side pressure blowing up to a point where it could affect things. I even felt it left-handed, and it did not help to hear your voice either. In
What?
that
What did that
second
say?
match,
Oh, you were
right?
starting to sweat a little bit.
Because here's the deal. The referee got in his mind that I had to fight for that grip for that minute, right? And I, super confident about the way round 1 went, and all it takes is about 7-8 seconds of you're up there, he's up there, you're digging, your index fingers are touching, you're trying that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, come on, Trav. Now your hand feels all weird, the lack of confidence. Now I don't get a super crazy grip because I want to slip out, right? And I think it's easy. And this dude is a wall, right? And it doesn't look good.
It
It gives
looked
a
like you
lot of
killed him.
confidence.
It looked like you really had your way with him.
But you saw what was really happening, and what you are is watching, and you are seeing that, hey, if there's any glimmer for hope, it's that, hey, that wasn't a bad slip for Derek there. So
Not a
I
bad
know,
slip. That one round was not a bad slip.
not a bad slip.
Yeah, but I mean, you
Besides
gonna
that,
get.
yeah, exactly. And one thing too, right? Like
I
you
try.
recognize
I try.
you recognize step one that I'm looking for it. So I got a feeling that you would be crying about me fighting early, right? So we would have to go through that mess. It could easily be a problem with you. But what does give me hope is the fasting. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
did
yeah,
look skinny. You did look
yeah. I got
skinny.
real skinny. I got
You
real
got
skinny.
skinny. But I
Trav,
mean, you're gonna be tough, I'm sure. I've beat you 4 times, or just 3, or 2 out of 3. I
that's
like the
still all
two out
to
of
be.
three.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. I tell you, as I've gotten older, my endurance has come down a little bit. But dude, we're so excited that you're back. Really, and I feel like you are back. Like, I mean, um, I don't know, something's changed, man. What's going on? Like, is for real? Yeah, you are back.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna compete. Yeah, listen, July 6th is right here,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
it's coming. This plane ticket, and Ingen's no dummy. Most of the time, Ingen pays for the plane ticket, right?
Mm,
But just for some reason, he's like, "Hey, Trav, go ahead and grab that."
mm.
So now I'm really committed because
Wow.
I mean, I'm not one to just spend a couple grand out of nowhere. So it's coming, it's happening. I don't know if Sergey's a good matchup or not. When I watch Chance and Matt, I just feel like I'm killing those guys. But that may not be true either. That may not be true, but my goodness, it is going to be a tough pill for me to
Did you
swallow.
did you watch him pull Artem? Arif? Arif Artem?
I was that late? Was that soon? Was that the latest, or was that even before then?
That was like a king of the table. I think it was the same king of the table that I maybe pulled Georgie. I only saw like half the match because I was getting ready to compete, but he broke his finger in the match.
I just can't imagine that he's going to like the connection at the very beginning. And I am going to fire, I mean, like the craziest person because of fear that you ever seen, ever.
Well, the betting odds are in your favor, Travis. Everybody thinks you're going to win. Yeah, you right now are the favorite. Yeah.
So
Just
how does that work? Don't you guys want it to be 50-50, or it can't be a betting thing?
no, we want it to be 50-50 for sure, right?
Don't you have to get it to 50-50? Isn't that the way it works?
We do. We
Okay.
do.
I
So if
got
you
you.
sell a block, you're good, you're locked in. By the way, you got to set up an account so we can pay you. But yeah, they sell it block
I
at a
gotta see
time.
all
Block.
the terms. I need to show all the
Oh yeah,
terms.
no problem. I'll
All
send
the
you everything.
terms.
I'll send you everything you need to know. Basically, we just send you money. Really, it's
I
just that
love it.
simple.
Is it a lot of
Yeah.
money?
It depends. It could. I'll tell you. Some of the matches have been pretty good. Yeah, some
All
of the
right. Well, I
matches.
can send some guys there with money, but we need to send some people to get on him though.
Right. I mean, look at Ukraine. They've been kicking up a storm. Him and Prudnik have been doing like dance shows and dinner theater and like
Does Prudnik, when Prudnik does all that stuff, is he talking about me, or is he just he got
no.
his own
So
thing?
he's got a match with the Rackley.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I just wanted to make sure, because I get tagged in it, but I don't watch the whole thing because I'm thinking, man, he's good.
He's really good.
He's really good. He's
Really
really
good.
good.
But Sergey's right there with him. Sergey is
Sergey's
is
good. Sergey is really good. And listen, just know, Sergey, that I have decided to play the arrogant, like, bitch, please role, right? Like, I plan on having you question your friends who set it up, your friends who pushed you and said, "This is a great match for you, young man." Because I am most likely going to be viral, whipping your ass. Like, really, and you being, listen, I'm sure that I can make it to where you're not sure what happened either. Yeah, you might not even be that mad about it. Because there are times when I feel so impressive sideways. And if I can set up over here and stand up, and it's going to be bad. You are going to need me to set down and fear the start so much that I give a lot before go. And it is possible because I'm sure there is going to be some resistance I won't be able to take, but I don't know if it's in a set grip with the referee holding your wrist straight, trying to be the best ref in the world because he's scared of fucking you and end up really fucking you really bad. And, so I don't know. And then there's a chance that I don't. Someone asked me who's the best left-handed arm wrestler in the United States. It's hard for me to not say, listen, I am 100% the best left-handed guy in the United States right now. But the truth is there's a hierarchy there of matches that if you just relax, the hype of pulling with Michael Todd and Corey West and eventually Cody Merritt. But then the other part of me is like, dude, line those bums up immediately so that now I have a platform. The number one left-handed or the number one arm wrestler in the United States, and then we'll work from that platform when it comes to that's where the negotiations begin. Because right now, Michael Todd looks pretty awesome to me. I'm sure Jerry Carteret, nothing's scarier than a Carteret that you don't see for 2 years. All of a sudden, this motherfucker, and he tells you he never left, and he has no idea what you're talking about where he's been. But it's about that time for him to creep out of there too. So there's some great things, and also too, can we find out did they make any money down there? Is that a viable product? Because man, a part of me would love to do that in Chicago. I mean, I've got the resources, but I just don't want to, I don't want to lead my boys into a sabotage situation where we're not quite there. Because it was beautiful what they did, I thought.
Me too.
From my perspective.
Me too. I think that there's going to be a lot of discussions that happen at this East versus West with a lot of key people that's going to kind of set the stage for what the Challenger Series looks like. That's what I think. And I think anytime you start to, that show was awesome. Like all the guys in that show, great. Like the characters, the matches, the meaningfulness of the matches. I loved all of it.
Dude, listen, I 100% produced that show, which is also awesome. Like, I now know that I can bring in some top level production crew and those arm wrestlers and do that show. That was awesome. Like, that was a pretty solid experience that I think that if it shows that there's any sort of break even or profit, what a great way to spend the weekend.
Yeah.
I felt like I was at the national championships again with everybody at the hotel and stuff. It was a little smaller version, but it was the best version anyway, because it's all of those guys at the nationals would just have their club with them. You know what I mean? But we didn't have their whole clubs, but it was a good representation. I thought they did a good job. And the camera guys were better than normal. The fucking screen, when I was looking at it, it was like, these are really harsh. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
So, I don't, you know what, man? But here's another thing I'm so proud is that if they're talking about my kids, they're leaving somebody else alone. And I feel like that it's like you can talk about my kids and they'll be okay because I talk about them and I've let them know the way the world is. So, and you got to be a pretty awesome dude to be the subject of conversation. So, but it is tough, dude. Like, and listen, let me tell you something else. It's going to be interesting when your son and some dude are really got a problem. Because I feel like that, and I could be wrong, but when I was 19, there was much more handshaking going on. And now it's like you get the pre-match, you get to talk about it for 3 months and all that stuff. And, I know how personal guys have been. Like, I've seen it, right? Dudes were mad at me. Motherfuckers was mad, right? And listen, I did not want to fight these dudes, but I'll be fucked if I'm going to give any any inch up here in this fucking thing, right? Like, I'm hoping security, right? Somebody, but if it goes there, it goes there. So it is going to be interesting when you're in the corner and it's on. It's on. Like,
Dude, it's so cool what you've done with your boys. I mean, playing in the NFL, like, what's that like when you're watching them down there? You watch like all the games, right?
yeah, well, here's what it is, right? It's first of all, the NFL quarterback thing is scary. Like, when you look at who is trying to get him, and they're good, dude. Like, they really are these dudes that are you would imagine they would have to be performance enhanced, and none of them are. They are 100% not juiced up, and they appear to be the most juiced up people you've ever seen in your life. Like,
That's even
it's
scarier.
it's crazy awesome. And I mean, it's just awesome. And they're all so fast and they're all so fucking smart. Like, they all know they don't, like, when you're younger, you can trick them, right? Because it's just, they're just out there having fun, but not these dudes. These dudes that are on defense are, you know, they're like just another member of another secret society of badass dudes, right? So that fear, first of all, is scary. It's scary. And then there is a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow that is so life altering for the last name Bajan that it's and then there's you just think about that pressure and he don't even know nothing about the pot of gold because you'd only have to go through life to know that what what happens, for your kids as kids educationally, all this fantastic things that could happen, and you're just praying that you're this close to love. But I'm telling you that I understand things about unrealistic love. Like, I think my wife's the hottest chick in the world, even though she's not the hottest chick in the world, right? But to me, she is. Like Tyson, I think he's the best, and there is no asterisk. Like, in that, so that right there is it's just ridiculous, amazing. It's so crazy. And it's so awesome, you have to be careful taking credit for it. You'd rather just immediately crack a joke, be as humble as possible, because you could really start feeling yourself, and then it wouldn't nearly be as cool. So it's crazy. And listen, today he helps me and his mom and his two sisters. We went to the softball field and we hung up the backdrop, and then we all took a round of batting practice. And he's just chilling there, like, it's all good. And I'm just looking at his mom. I'm like, yo, dude's a beast, right? Just crazy.
I remember, I think the time I came by your place and you were throwing passes to him. And right away, I was like, man, this kid is something different. I don't know if you remember, but we were down in the basement or something, and you're
Yeah, them
throwing,
little
and you're
red
like,
balls, right? Them little red balls.
man, he was dieting and he must have been like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that
what's
was,
really crazy fun is if you, like, you're getting to do it now. You're spending time with your boys that you wouldn't have spent with them to play football. But it's really me trying to be the best coach I can be. It's like we got to share that. So and even I don't think that guy's better than you. And these are like the best dudes in the world. I'm like, Tice, I mean, did you see that? And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude, I think you're better than him. He's like, come on, man. I'm like, dude, you're better than that dude. And then all of a sudden now he's knocking off these guys. Dev, I can't tell you, like, every major quarterback knows every other major quarterback prospect's family. Like, Greg Helm is good friends with Austin Reed. Austin Reed is the undrafted free agent quarterback that is with the Bears now. They both didn't know if it was going to be you or my buddy's son's playing quarterback, and she's like, for who? She said, John said for the Bears. And he's like, my mom's like, oh, Well, that's my grandson. So,
Yeah.
like, all these people, like
Yeah.
Tom Brzezinski is so connected. You know, he's a Bears fan, right? I look over, Steve Pettis is there, Kent DeMore. I mean, it's a Brian Wagner. All these dudes, arm wrestling dudes, they're tripping, fucking tripping about the fact that he's playing. So, yeah.
But
And,
I got
and
a
honestly,
feeling.
too,
I got
you
a
asked
feeling
me
like,
earlier what was different. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you what's different, too. That confidence that I get from this situation, right? It's
Mm.
like, yo, man, you gotta, ain't no reason why you should be doing great shit too. It's crazy not to. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with it as well.
I think our stream is really shitty somehow. Like I keep on reading it, like it's like going in and out. I don't know.
You
I hope
want
it's
me to? Yeah, I mean,
I hope it's
you're
recorded
you're way more technical
like
than me.
this much. This much, buddy.
My
This
man
much.
Elton said streaming's fine.
Okay, good. So listen, I mean, back to you, buddy. Like, what is it that brought you back? Okay, I know that you left for coaching football and whatever degree your boys had in that, but I feel like you are back. What is it? What is it that's brought you back? Or did you ever really leave?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever really left, but it was just the confidence of and getting, you know, the. I mean, the truth is I am a fan of arm wrestling, and when I got to that East versus West just to do the announcing, just the heat. Like that's one thing I remember about when they called my name the other day is like I haven't felt that internal fire that goes through your whole fucking body when you're not sure what's going to happen, and then you're there and you're like, dude, how many opportunities am I going to live again? Like I don't know how many times I'm going to feel like I don't know what's going to happen. I'm okay with it, and I am going to go as hard as I fucking can. And and then I can't help but think that right around the corner, whether it's Ingen Terzi or the Chicago Bears, there has to be more lucrative opportunities for a super awesome Travis Bajan to exist than ever before.
What do you think? I mean, look, you've been following the sport forever. East versus West level. What is it the highest? Is it the highest it's been? Like,
Well,
where are we?
I've seen it so high, and I can tell you that I have been to the highest ever high ever. And this East versus West is by far the highest.
Yeah, that's what I
By
think
far.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like the thing that I've criticized the East versus West for are the number of matches. But what it's done, it's created this depth that makes it just ridiculous. Because listen, you don't have to go far now to get your ass whipped locally from someone who's been to East versus West. And also, too, them guys aren't losing when they go home either, right?
No.
They're
No.
running shit where they from. And if so, the depth that has been created in this, I mean, I'm just so impressed, like so impressed. And it was scary. Like literally the first time I'm there, I'm like, man, I'm glad that I ain't ready for this smoke. Right. And that was
Travis,
a year and a half ago or whatever. And I'm like, yeah.
you're like 275, right? 275, 280.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, you could go either way.
Dude, don't you think for a second I don't have my eyes on that 253 title, right?
Right.
That's easy for me,
That's what I
right?
think too.
Easy for me to get to 253. The problem is that I have an unrealistic view of my left arm. I have a feeling that everyone would feel uncomfortable,
What about
especially if you didn't like it and you didn't know it.
what
Like,
about Matyushenko at 115?
yeah, that's a problem. Is that he's a guy like he's just like Alajon. Nothing's worse than losing weight to pulling someone who's stronger than everybody that's heavier.
It's
Like
crazy, right?
crazy, man. And you know what else is crazy, man? Artem is awesome. I mean, Morozov is awesome, man. Like
Awesome.
I've never seen someone bounce back elastically not that strong. The guys he's beating aren't that fucking strong. Just know that, it's not all that. And I'm like jealous and saying he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And the truth is
breathing,
that
right?
dude's a
Travis,
genius.
hold on.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I got a stream issue here. I'm gonna try and flick over from Wi-Fi.
All right.
We'll see what happens here.
I think about how up and down my hand would be too. Like, it's, and then I'm thinking, what if I went crazy? What if I went motherfucking crazy? Just like I did right-handed, that 2016 thing. Like, my dad going through that shit, him passing away. Just don't fuck around every motherfucking day. One time in your life, be amazing. If I did that left-handed and it all connected the right way and I weighed in at like that 297 mark, that 302 thing, oh, how awesome would it be to bust one of these motherfuckers, boy? And, it may be one of them things where I don't want to be 300 pounds just for one day. Just for one day, just go ahead, motherfucker, because I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it, right? It's connected. There's injury-free for the most part. That's another thing. I just don't want to get hurt with all these fucking studs. But, man, it would be cool to have, like, because, listen, it's almost could be it could eclipse you and Levon. Because that's what we have to do, right? I mean, for this thing to work, I need you to take it to another level, which is, I think, how, that's how you leave your mark, right? I mean, it's one thing to win and get a couple belts, but it's another thing to be like, hey, man, listen, this Forrest Griffith moment happened in the UFC. The Bears, they usually call them the Bears, not the Cubs. The Cubs is the baseball team.
Oh my God! Oh no!
Oh,
I love it. I appreciate that.
He just summed up the whole stream, boy. The Chicago Cubs. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey,
buddy.
you should take a towel. All right, cool. All right, we off here?
Yeah, man. Listen, so excited to see you. So excited to see you kill it. Like,
are you gonna be? You're not gonna be there, right?
No, I'm gonna be there.
Oh, you'll be there. You're commentating and hanging out. You're not pulling, right?
No, I'm just hanging out.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I hope you kill it, buddy. You got all of North America cheering for you. Like, this is, to me, I feel like this is, you broke out with Derek, but now it's the big stage. Now it's the big stage.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right, you the man. I appreciate you. Let me know if you need me.
Thank you for your time, Travis. All the best. Everybody go over and sub to Travis Bajan.
And Ingen, hope you feel better, young man.
Get healthy. Sorry for the stream, guys. I'm fucking not